Previously on Historical Geocaching, I'm visiting the Huron Lightship in Port Huron, Michigan. Most recently, our tour guide has talked about the oldest lightships on the Great Lakes and the 1832 cholera epidemic.
On the table here we have
blueberries, right?
Some blueberries, and yeah, don't chew these. They're taconite pellets, which are the shippable type of iron ore. This is what iron ore looks like coming out of the ground. It's about 70% rock and 30% iron, and totally inefficient to ship like that. So what they do is they grind it down to a powder, and they put it through a kiln with clay. And they roll it in a big kiln, similar to probably exactly the same as a cement company kiln. You ever seen those big long ones? They're about 200, 300 foot long. Kiln like that, high heat, put it in there with clay, powder in the clay. They make these pellets, and the pellets are then shippable. Those go into a railroad car, and the railroad car goes to a place like, in fact, there may only be a couple of places they go. One of them is Marquette, Michigan, up in the Upper Peninsula, and there's a big, huge iron dock that goes out into Lake Superior, and the ships come in next to that, and they bring the coal cars out on there, and they dump it into hoppers, and then they lower these things and build the ship home. And there's a couple of ships that go by here. One of them is the Honorable James L. Overstar, and all that ship does is go from Marquette, Michigan, down to the River Rouge Ford plant with taconite. And at the River Rouge Ford plant, they have a steel mill, and that's where they use that taconite for. So once he dumps his taconite, he turns around, he goes back to Marquette. And my grandson and I were exchanging pictures of the Overstar because he was going to college in Marquette. He'd take a picture and say, hey, the Overstar is here, and then I'd take a picture and say, here's the Overstar going underneath that, and then he's coming back, you know. We didn't care about the Overstar, it was, it was fun to do. And we did that all summer, last year. So, anyway, and the copper. We have copper here. The interesting thing about copper is that during the California gold rush, there's a lot of gold that came out of California. But during the same period of time, the amount of copper that came out of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan was of greater value than the gold that came out of California. And it kind of tells you something about being smart. The common man like you and I went to California and dug for gold. The rich guy sitting in New York just bought himself a copper mine and sat there and made money. More money than all those guys that went to California to do gold. So, yeah, and I think they just actually, this last spring, closed the last copper mine that was open in the Upper Peninsula. So that's done. And the reason it's shaped like this, these ingots are shaped like this, is because they can put them on stacks and put bars through them to keep them from moving around the ship. Otherwise, it'd be hard to keep the load still. Okay, let's go up on that. This was the engineer's bunk, by the way, and right next to him here, about 18 inches away, was his office. He's the only guy on board that had his own office, but he was in charge of making sure everything was maintained properly, that all the maintenance jobs were done, and he was in charge of just about everything mechanical on board ship was under his.
That's where ships go.
Lake Guardian going, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep, Gary's probably up there. He signaled to salute to him, and he saluted back. Let's go up on deck.